Hi everybody, just thought I'd turn the camera on and do a quick impromptu bonus video. And I'm going to be going away at the end of this week to Italy for the first of these guitar workshops, which is a tough gig, I realise, and very much looking forward to that. I've been doing some preparation over the past few weeks. One thing I still need to do is to organise my gear, and I'm planning on travelling fairly light. I'm going to take one guitar, probably my Telecaster, and I think amps are going to be provided, but the other thing that I thought I might take is a selection of effects pedals, and I thought that this might be a good opportunity for me to resurrect and revamp my mini pedal board. Now you might have seen, I've got it down here, you might have seen me use this pedal board in a few of my videos. I did do a video when I put this together quite a few years ago now, and the idea then was to put together a small lightweight board just using mini effects pedals, and I've been using it for rehearsals, for gigs. It's great if you need to get to a gig on a public transport or whatever it might be, and you can just kind of fit in a gig bag. It's very lightweight but still high quality. I think all of the pedals on here sound really good. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to revamp this a little bit. It's been more or less the same for probably 4 or 5 years, I think. So there are a few things I want to try. I've got a couple of extra pedals which I'm going to try and get on here. This has got quite a bulky power supply on here, so I've actually got another power supply which I'm going to fit beneath this board, and it should just make the whole thing a little bit nicer, I think. So let me get started on this now. And as it stands, what I've got on here at the moment, I've got the Voodoo Lab power supply, which is a great power supply, but as I say, quite bulky. I've got a tuner, then a fuzz pedal, overdrive, which is the Wampler Tumnus. I've got this Mua Black Secret, which is a kind of clone of a Rat distortion pedal. I've got another Mua pedal, the Trelicopter, which is a tremolo. I've got an Ibanez analog delay pedal. I've got TC Electronic reverb, and then I've got my looper at the end of the chain. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all of this off, and I'm probably going to remove this old Velcro, which is looking a little bit manky. I need to be able to get to the board to drill it to fit the new power supply. So let me do that to start with. Okay, so the pedals, the old Velcro, have now gone, and what I'm going to do next is fit the new power supply. And the power supply that I've got is this one here. It's a True Tone One Spot Pro power supply. I've actually got another one of these power supplies on my little board that I have over here, which this is my other mini board, which I generally use to make videos, and it's not permanently set up. I kind of swap out the pedals depending on what kind of sounds I'm going for, but this power supply has been really great actually in this board. And one of the main reasons I went for this power supply, is a good quality power supply, but it's designed to fit underneath pedal boards like this pedal train pedal board. It's a very kind of low profile pedal board, but you do have to drill a couple of holes to make it fit, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, the board is drilled. It wasn't quite as straightforward as the dude made it look in the video, but I think I've done a reasonable job. And now the idea is we just have to screw the power supply into position. So it's going to go, how's this going to look? Like that, I think. It's going to be easiest if I do this on the floor. I think you might not be able to see this. Okay, I think that is now done. I think a couple of my holes weren't quite as accurate as they should have been, so the screws have gone in at a slight angle, but that looks pretty solid to me. I think that's going to be fine. So yeah, next step, I'm just going to get some new Velcro on here, and then I can start getting the pedals into place. The Velcro is now on, and now's the fun bit. I'm going to select my pedals and start playing around with them. And the basic idea, I want this board to be nice and versatile. I'm going to be playing lots of different styles of music with it, so I kind of want a bit of everything on there really. And I've got some decisions to make because I've got kind of too many mini pedals to squeeze them all onto this board. So I'm going to start with the ones that I know are definitely going to go on here. So I think obviously going to need a tuner, and I want my looper as well for practice, and also it's good for teaching as well. So that's going to go on there. Now, as far as overdrives go, I've actually got far too many overdrive and boost pedals, so something's going to have to go. And I'm thinking that I'm going to retire the Tumnus for the time being. It's a great pedal, but I thought I'd just try something a bit different. And I've actually got this MXR Duke of Tone, which I picked up fairly recently. It's another overdrive pedal basically, but this one, it's got this little switch so it can act as an overdrive or a boost pedal or a distortion, so it's slightly more versatile than the Tumnus perhaps. So I think this is going to be my main overdrive pedal. So that goes on. I need a fuzz. I've only got one mini fuzz, and that is this one here. It's the JHS, I think it's called the Mini Foot Fuzz pedal, which I like the sound of this. I think it's based on a kind of tone bender-ish sound, so I'm going to need a fuzz. That's going to go on. And then I'm wondering, I've got the where is it? I've got the Moore Black Secret. This is a Rat kind of a clone pedal. I would like to have that on just for some more extreme kind of overdrive sound, so I think I'm going to have that. And then I was wondering whether I should also just have a boost pedal on there. I've got this MXR booster just for volume boost for solos and that kind of thing. I don't know whether that's one overdrive pedal too many, but yeah, let's say that is going to go on. And so that's kind of the drive pedals taken care of. I think I'm going to want the tremolo pedals, so the Trelicopter, that's going to stay. And then modulation stuff. I don't want a chorus on this board, so I can get those kind of 80s post-punk and goth guitar sounds. I think that's essential. So I've got this Ibanez mini chorus pedal, which sounds really nice. So that's going to go on. And then I've got my delay, which is the Ibanez mini delay. And then finally the Hall of Fame reverb pedal. So how many pedals is that? That's 10 pedals. So the problem I'm now foreseeing is this power supply only has 6 outlets. So perhaps try and daisy chain some of these pedals off of the same power outlet. I'm hoping that is going to work. I don't know whether it will or not, but I'm going to give it a try. And what I think I'm going to do is just put these pedals in place temporarily. I'll get things wired up, and then I can test everything before fixing things permanently in place. And there are lots of options when it comes to the order of different pedals, but I'm going to go fairly conventional here, I think. So I'm probably going to go tuner, overdrive, fuzz, the distortion, maybe have the booster at the end of the overdrive section for solo boosts, and then tremolo, chorus, delay, reverb, and then I'll have the looper at the end of the channel. I think that's a fairly conventional pedal order there, but I'm going to plug in. You always need to use your ears with this kind of thing, so I'm going to get everything wired in and see how it sounds. So I'm just about done. I've got everything on the board. It's a little bit messy at the moment. I'm just, as I say, doing this temporarily. I'll test it and then I'll tidy everything up once I'm happy that everything is working properly. So I've gone with the order of the pedals that I mentioned earlier. So tuner, Duke of Tone, fuzz, distortion, boost. Then I've got a wire going under the board to the tremolo, then chorus, delay, reverb, and then finally into the looper. And the only slight issue that I've come up against is this whole daisy chain thing. So I've got 6 outlets on the power supply but 10 pedals, so some of these pedals are going to have to share the same outlet on the power supply, and you do that with a special cable. I've got some cables where it splits into 2 or into 3, so the last few pedals on this chain are actually sharing outputs on the power supply. Not an ideal situation. I think in an ideal world every pedal would have its own outlet on the power supply, and it just means that you minimize kind of buzz and hum and all that kind of nasty stuff, but fingers crossed this is going to still work out okay. So I've got a signal there. This is with all of the pedals bypassed, but at least that shows that all of these cables are okay. And I'm just going to go through each of these pedals briefly so you can hear what they sound like. And I am just recording this on the mic in my camera, so it might not be the best audio quality, but hopefully it gives you some kind of idea. And first up we've got the Duke of Tone. And then we've got the first pedal, the Mini Foot Fuzz by JHS. And then the Black Secret, the kind of rat style distortion pedal. And then next in line is the MXR boost pedal. So it's a beautiful sounding pedal, this one actually. There's loads of gain on it. I've got the volume control set, it's barely on at all, and it's still a big leap in gain. And it's more than just a booster pedal, this one. I think it's got some kind of preamp circuitry in there as well, so it does affect the tone in a nice kind of a way. Then I've got the tremolo pedal. And the chorus pedal. And the delay. And then you've got the reverb, and this is one of these tone print pedals from TC Electronics, so you can actually, it's got one control, but you can actually change the type of reverb in an app. I think it's something I don't generally do. I don't kind of like phone app controlled gear for the most part, but I might actually have to dive into that and try out some different reverb sounds, maybe get a nice spring reverb or something. So that's the reverb, and then the looper. Just see if I can get this working. Doesn't seem to be working. Oh, that's it, because the volume level wasn't up. Let's try that. There we go. Good. So it seems to be successful. So I'm going to live with this for a couple of days. Might tweak things slightly. Then when I'm happy, I will tidy everything up. But I'm pretty pleased with that. I think it's a nice revamp of the board. I've got a couple of nice pedals on there that I've not used very much previously. So the Duke of Tone and the mini chorus pedal. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you next time.